Good evening, this is Damien from the Extra Arcade, but you already knew that. It has been a very long day, but I did promise you a video about pinball machines, so I am going to make you a video about the history of pinball machines. Reasons I'm making this video is, many of you may have remembered the old little pinball machine we had in the corner here, looking very sad for itself and all that. Well, a few weeks ago I and my friend Ricky, who many of you may know as Wankle from the Wankle and the Beard channel, we went to Wales, of all places, because there is a lovely gentleman there who restores pinball machines, and he has it currently, and he is working away to get that one fully restored for us. So we hopefully, touch wood, will have a fully restored pinball machine up here in our surprisingly well lit upstairs area. The electrics that I installed appear to be working fine, which is all good. Touch wood again. But yeah, so because of that, we're going to do a quick video on the history of pinball machines. Now, it's an interesting thing that actually pinball, believe it or not, originated from pubs. Somewhat. So this comes from a game, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation here because it's a weird French pronunciation, called Bagatelle. Now, for those who don't know what that is, it is basically croquet, but for indoors. So a lot of French aristocrats like to play croquet a lot and all that jazz, and they got fed up with the fact of, you know, France, a bit like Britain, it's quite a bit rainy at times, and they got quite fed up of, oh, we don't want to have to wait to do our game, so a couple of aristocrats said, well, we'll just bring it indoors and make a smaller version of it, which was basically, they had a number of pins, and a ball, and you had to roll the ball and knock over the pins, and that was sort of much how the game was played. And it became very, very popular. And because it was quite a small size, it became a staple of pubs and taverns, and that grew its popularity amazingly, to the fact that when we get a bit further on in life, a lot of French soldiers who are going out to the Americas bring copies of this game with them, and it actually then becomes very popular around America. Which is where we then get our next big invention in the pinball world, and it's in 1871. Montague Redgrave was the chap's name. Basically started designing what we now know as the modern day pinball table. So he added the spring that you could fire the ball up round there and have it batter around. Didn't have flippers on at this point. They didn't come along until about 1947, I think it was. Someone went, oh, we can put some flippers on there. Because the idea was you fired the ball up, it would go around, it would knock over the things, come back, and then you had to skillfully fire the next one up and around. Yeah, 1947, someone adds on flippers so you can keep the ball in play. But obviously we're talking about the 18th century, no electricity, no way of keeping scoreboards. So yeah, how many pins can you knock over with this slighted angle thing? And yeah, things start to develop a little bit. Some bright spark invents electricity, or discovers it, however you want to put that. And we get our introduction of scoreboards on pinball machines, and we start seeing a bit more of what the traditional pinball machine is. Then these things sort of take a turn for the worse for the poor pinball machine. Luckily, it's out in other places around the world. But in the 1930s, pinball was, we've got the Great Depression happening in America. And pinball was seen as a really nice, cheap way of entertaining yourself. Go down to your local tavern, soda bar is probably what they were more looking at then. And you can play this, stick your 1 cent in, and you can sit and play the machine all day long. And it was seen as a nice, cheap form of entertainment. And people sort of went, well, hey, I bet you I can beat your high score. Oh, no, you can't. I'll put you $5, you can't. And this then became a massive problem because people were gambling, which was seen as not great over in America. It was actually outlawed at the time. And a bit further on, sort of, these clever machine makers cottoned onto this and started building pinball machines that paid out. If you beat the high score, it gave you a couple dollars, and the American government looked at that and went, well, that's against all of our gambling rules, so we are going to outlaw it. They made it absolutely illegal to own, run or operate pinball machines. And they went underground, as they always do. And, you know, there were underground illegal gambling dens filled with pinball machines. And that was around the 1940s, and that is lifted in 1976. And that brings forth a new revolution in pinball gaming. These are hugely popular in the Americas. And yeah, electricity's coming along nicely. We've got PCBs and things that we can make electronic scoreboards, and we can make cool little things that happen when you hit the ball in various ways. And this gets beautifully exampled when a little film comes out called The Addams Family. And to help promote the film, they create a Addams Family pinball table. And this is now, even to this day, the best-selling singular pinball table is the Addams Family pinball table. They sold thousands of these things, and it got pinball out to everyone, and they were going, hey, look, we can do all these weird, cool things. You hit the ball in a certain way, and Uncle Fester's mouth explodes with the light bulb, and that's when we then get to the peak of pinball playing and gaming. And then it starts to take a sad turn again, because people stop coming to arcades. The introduction of the home entertainment systems, and especially in modern days, the internet. People generally just go and play them online and don't get that thrill of a nice solid machine that they can play around and, you know, stand deaf, dumb and blind, ignoring all those lights and buzzers, just playing by sense of smell. 5 points if you got the reference there. But yeah, so that is, and as I always say with these videos, a very, very quick roundup of the history of the pinball machines. There's obviously a lot more to it than that, but I have 7-8 minutes to quickly explain to you the history of these things. So go and check out more if you're interested in more. And touch wood, we will have the GG ready to go by the time we reopen in 11-ish days. So other than that, I hope you're all keeping well. Look forward to seeing you all on the 4th. If you can do, check out the coffee link. Other than that, have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.